Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video. In my last one, I said that the next decks that I wanted to show were, yeah, like I said, my spiritual ones. Sometimes that's, of course, a little bit hard to describe because, yeah, what's spiritual to me might not be spiritual to another person. Um, for me, like I say, spiritual in the sense of there's a feeling, um, a special kind of feeling, whether that's really tapping into your intuition, which the first deck is all about. Um, or, for example, in this one is one that I actually dreamed about. But I will talk a little bit when more about it when that deck, well, has its turn. This one, yeah, I made a box for it. It's the Soul Cards 1 and 2. So yeah, I combined the deck. So yeah, this is the little box I made. um, this are two decks combined. I think it's known in the community. We have the 1 and 2 together. Well, like I said, it's definitely all intuition based. There are no keywords. When you get the deck or decks. There's a little pamphlet, but not really in the sense that it gives you any meanings or anything. So it's really looking at the artwork and what brings that up for you. And it can be very different. I had a card that would bring up a kind of meaning, and in the next reading, the meaning was totally different. Um, but I never go wrong with this deck. I think it's one of my older decks. The very first tarot I bought was an RWS, I think, like most. I started my journey actually in playing cards. Playing cards is where I'm most comfortable, almost, to say it like that, because it's where I once upon a time started with. Um, and after the RWS, when I bought that one, I saw this and I just could not resist. So yeah, I bought this one. This is actually the second copy. I had the older version. Um, but yeah, it was all old and well, the lamination came up. So I think a couple of years ago I bought both decks new, to keep working with it. As you can see, I think they're very deep and again spiritual kind of paintings. There's so much to see. If you look at this, we got a face here, we got a person here. There's a tree thing going on, the hands, and sometimes when I look at this deck, I laugh a little bit with myself. Like, how the hell do you come up? Sorry, with a message. And I think that's the beauty of this deck. When you just look at it, you're like, okay, that's beautiful, but okay, what do I do with it? And even I have that till today when I look at just the cards. If I'm not asking a question or have anything in mind, I'm like, how would you interpret that? And then the moment you ask a question and you do your shuffling and all of that, and I put a card down, it's like there's a message. I never really have to think about it, about, oh, what is the message that I'm seeing. The moment I put them down, there is a message. And I think that's what I mean when I talk about all of the decks that I'm showing today. They're definitely very spiritual. There is an intuition thing going on. And yeah, this one I needed to start with this because again, we don't have that basic suit or major, that we can tap into. This is definitely 100% intuition. Yeah. So yeah, that's my first and second, but yeah, it's for me one deck, and that are the soul cards 1 and 2. I know her name. I forgot her name. But like before, I will put all the decks and their creators, in the description down below. So let's see. Because this was a big box. And then I have another one in also a special box at this one. So let's do these first. This is my Margaret Petersen. I'll go out of the screen because again a big box. Yeah, the Margaret Petersen Tarot. These are the backs. They're beautiful. I think her story, if I'm not mistaken, it was really a lifetime for her to paint the complete 78 cards in the tarot. And yeah, there is something about it. It's sometimes, like I said again, it's so hard to describe when you really talk about, oh, there is something that's touching you, in your soul or in your energy. But this one goes deep. And I have the same with this. Sometimes I look at it when I'm not asking a question or I'm just looking, and I'm like, but it's so hard, right? How do you pull it together? Even though, of course, you have your starting off point in the sense of the tarot. But even then, and then yeah, the moment you put them down in a question or in a reading or how you use them, and there's just an answer. It's the answer, of course, like I said, because this is tarot. The soul cards don't have that starting of their jumping off point, but even with that, there is just more. And I think that's the beauty of the Margaret Petersen. There's always more. This might be the Three of Coins, but there's more. So yes, this is definitely one of my spiritual decks, or yeah, the way I classify it then in that moment. But yeah, definitely a favorite, even though the cards are also a little bit bigger than normal tarot or standard size tarot. This is a deck that's been used a lot. And yeah, it has something. There is something magical about it. So yes, that one was the Margaret Petersen Tarot by Margaret Petersen. That one was easy. The next one, which one shall I do next? Well, let me do the smaller one in a baggie. Excuse me. Because again, this came in a box, in an annoying box. So the booklet is, or the book is somewhere else on the shelves. And this is the Marielle. I think very well known, and this too, yeah, when I say spiritual, like I said, there's tapping into something higher, whether that's in yourself or outside of yourself. But yeah, all of these decks are not decks I would use in an everyday reading. These are decks I use when, for example, in the beginning of the month, I always do a focus reading. And the question is simple, what should I focus on this month? And with that question, I pull one card to have that stepping stone. And then I would pull other cards, to see how to go about that. And like I said, these kind of decks are the ones that I would use for that kind of work, Yeah, I should have given a nudity warning, but yeah, serious. If you know the Marielle, you're going to see some, things. So yes, like I said, definitely a deep deck for me. Something that taps into my intuition, into something greater and higher than myself. And that's how it's used. So yeah, that one, the Marielle from Mary White was, I think, her name. But again, I will put everything in the description so you can go back and find the correct information in case I don't give the correct information. The next one will be the Haindl Tarot by Hermann Haindl. This one, it kicks my ass. It's never friendly, not that we always need friendly, but again, this would not be one yet that I would use for an everyday read because it will probably leave me in tears. this one is very straight to the point, in all honesty, which I love. I'm Dutch, I'm Suriname, and both of my sides, yeah, we are not, yeah, people that like to beat around the bush. We're very direct and honest. Some may find that rude, but yeah, like I said, we call it direct. um, and this is what that deck is for me. It's very direct, you know. It's not like, oh, but everything will be fine. Oh, hell no. It will tell you what's going on and how to deal with it, and there's no buts or sure or ifs, you know, about it. I love the different kind of cultures. I mean, here you saw Nuit, from Egypt, and I think, oh, I'm so bad. Yeah, this one also Egypt. I think there was an America in the sense of, I think, if I say that correctly, like that tapping into the Indian kind of spirit. Mother of Cups, the North. See, now I'm very, very bad. Anyway, every suit has a different kind of culture that's being portrayed. And you see that mostly in the court cards. So yes, a very interesting deck. It, again, for me at least, doesn't take any... it deals some punches, you know. And it's kind of funny because I think on a Facebook post somewhere it talked about how kind and how sweet this deck was. So of course it's definitely a personal experience, and that was so funny to me. And no disrespect, of course, but I was like, well, why are you not cute and cuddly with me? But yeah, I think that's actually a beautiful thing. We all experience our decks differently, you know. But yeah, like I said, this one, it kicks my ass. It's definitely, well, up to the point of being rude. But yeah, a beautiful, beautiful deck. So yes, this one was the Haindl Tarot. These are the backs. Okay. Next one is The Terror of the Spirits by Pamela and Joyce Eakins, if I say that correct. I really love this deck, and I love also to combine it with my Margarete Petersen. Again, that's a tarot with a tarot, but I'm enjoying the combination. Yeah, you get a booklet and an extra card. Something about a mystery or something, and you see the Tree of Life, and you can place that over some of the cards, and then, because apparently everything was designed in that Tree of Life, you know. But yeah, these are separate, or separate. I place them separate. So yes, Tarot of the Spirits. Like I said, I love to work with it in combination with the Margarete Petersen. There's some similarity, and yet they're very different. This one is a great combination of, yeah, really being to the point, at the same time really having a spiritual energy about it. I'm sorry. I love the artwork. I don't even know how to call it, because some may look more abstract or modern even, and it doesn't feel modern, because even though I have some modern decks, I don't think that I will go mostly for modern decks. But even though it has very different styles in some of the cards, it just flows together very beautifully. Yeah, they do work. I think it was with some keywords. Yeah, see here we have the 8 of water, so that would be the 8 of cups, and then it's called still waters. The 5 of wind. Wind will be air, so swords, fear. So yes, again, for me, very spiritual. You know, it's not a deck I would use in my everyday reading, um, because it goes deeper. It doesn't just give a quick and easy answer. You know, um, it's about going deeper for yourself, and I think that is what my spiritual decks really do for me, going deeper within myself. And yeah, I love that death card. Absolutely beautiful. So yes, that one was the Tarot of the Spirits. These are the backs. Beautiful, simple. I love it. Okay, let's see. The next one is the Shimmering Veil Tarot by Cilla Conway. I absolutely love everything Cilla Conway. In this one, I only have one tarot. I know she had the Intuitive Tarot, but that was, I think, done by, it was her first deck in the 70s or something, and I really wanted to love it. I just didn't love it as much as this, and I ended up actually not using it at all. So that one left my collection in the hopes it would get some use by somebody who does love it, you know. However, all our Oracle decks I'm having, because again, I love her work. Let me start with the backs this time. Very beautiful. I got the gilded version. Excuse me. This is the High Priest. I mean, it's just amazing. I think many have already spoken about this deck, you know. Yeah, just amazing. This was a deck I got, and normally I have a whole ritual, you know, when you get a new deck, you flip through it and you do the smoke thing or the crystal thing or whatever, you know. I think we all have some kind of ritual when we get a new deck, and I didn't do any of it with this one. The moment I got it, I walked through the cards one by one, you know, and I read with it. I didn't even do the whole ritual. I couldn't wait. There was like this instant click. And I never had that. I always did my ritual and took my time, you know. But with this one, no. I didn't need any time. I just wanted to go with it, you know. Which, again, this is my go-to. If I would do a reading for somebody, I try to measure that, you know, like what kind of energy we're talking about. And if I really have no idea, Shimmering Veil is my go-to. It will definitely give the answer, you know. So yeah, this one, I think also because of the direct instant connection that hit, and yeah, you can see it's already, I don't do backup decks, but I might need to break my rule for this one. Because it's chipping, because it gets a lot of use. I mean, look at that. Yeah. Just amazing. I really love it. And yeah, these paintings, these oil paintings she also did in her oracles, in the Devas, both decks, the Devas of Creation and the multi-dimensional Devas of Creation and the Book of the Dead. And yeah, I love them all. There is something about her artwork that just taps into, that intuition in me, which makes me tap into something higher than myself. And yeah, again, this one, definitely a favorite. If I'm anytime in any kind of doubt which deck to use, you know, yeah, this one will be the one. So yes, the Shimmering Veil Tarot by Cilla Conway. Let me see what I have next. This one, which is the Lioness Oracle Tarot. In all honesty, I think I got this one because a lion is one of my my guardian animals, you know. I work a lot with lion energy. And, well, oops, sorry. Let me show the backs. Beautiful roses. So yeah, I work a lot with lion energy, and I think the name got me. And then when I got it, I didn't even look through it yet, but I was like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. I spent money, and maybe it's not working for me. And I'm very happy I was wrong. um, I love the artwork. It could have been much more diverse in my opinion, because yeah, what did we look now through? I mean, the Shimmering Veil. It's a kind of art. So I'm not then even really looking at that because I'm not seeing people. I'm seeing energies. The soul cards is kind of diverse in my opinion, and again, sometimes it's almost like looking at energy instead of a being. Margaret Petersen being very, yeah, it's a very different art style, so hardly any people. And the Marielle, I think, in my opinion, is diverse. This one could have been a little bit more diverse, but there is something about it with the kitty cats and the lions, and I think the jaguar or panther, well, the big cats, that gives it something extra special for me. I love the records here. Yeah, this one, not one of my favorites. Not really a David Bowie fan. People don't come for me. So to see him here, for me personally, it's just a little bit weird. But yeah, again, one card in a deck. We can work with it. The lion. I love it. And because, like I said, that's my guardian, to really work with a deck sometimes to tap into that energy. Yeah, I really do. And yeah, when I do that, like I said, then it becomes a spiritual thing, because that is my spirit. Well, I don't like to call it spirit animal. I don't even know what that really means. Because when I work with lion energy, it's about what they represent. I mean, on oracle decks, the keyword is a lot of the time courage. Yes, of course, which they have, but let's be honest, it's a big beast. How courageous are you, by having that power? When I look at lion energy, it's really, for me at least, about family, about community. The lion being, well, the only big cat that really lives in that pride, that needs and has that family. And when I look at the lion, except for courageous, yes, there's a lot of strength, especially for a male lion. I mean, when they're old enough, they need to go out alone in the world, and that takes, well, that courage, what we talked about then, but a lot of strength, independence. When we look at the female lion, well, there's a lot that rests on their shoulders. The raising of the cubs, the hunting, and yeah, they all do that. And so for me, like I said, even though, don't get me wrong, there's definitely courage, but for me, that lion energy that I try to tap into then is about a lot more. So like I said, it's not like a spirit animal. It's that guide. It's that energy that's all about what they are. That I try to tap into. And like I said, when I do that, I do like to use this deck, um, to really get there. Um, if I do a reading in that sense, how I can really tap into that energy, or what kind of parts of that energy of the lion do I need to tap into if I don't know in the moment. And yeah, this deck is definitely guiding me the right way, or in the right direction. So yes, oh my god, I'm very bad. The Lion Oracle Tarot. Yeah, it's that oracle that gets me every time. Oh, I forgot a card, because yes, these were the backs of the Shimmering Veil. Well, this one again, the Lion Oracle Tarot. The next one, okay, this is one that I had in my dream. The Journey of the Sacred Bee. I got this one in the Oracle, but I will show the Oracle with my oracles in the video that I will show the Oracle collection. I saw this deck. I thought it was beautiful, the colors and stuff, And then I tried to order it. And now, in all honesty, in Europe, it's getting better with indie decks. But in that time, even though that was a year or two ago, or maybe, in that time, here in Europe, indie decks were hard to get. So I tried to get it from her, but she didn't ship to, well, at least this part of Europe. And I was a little bit bummed, but I'm also, yeah, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And the moment I did that, that night, I actually had a dream about it. And I don't know the person that was involved. I only know I was at somebody's house and I stole from that person. Oh my God, really? I stole from that person and I stole the tarot and the oracle. But in my dream, they were not complete. Like there were missing cards, the decks were not complete, and I still stole them. Well, one, I'm not a thief. um, Two, the fact that they were not complete was very weird because, well, I cannot work with a deck when it's not complete. It's an OCD thing or something. I don't know what it is, but if a card would be missing, I cannot use the deck. So when I woke up, I was, well, one, horrified that I apparently stole from somebody. And two, I was really weirded out, like, even though when they were not complete. So yeah, when I woke up, I felt kind of like it was a message of some kind. Oh, I love this card. And I needed a deck. So yeah, I ordered it and then I let it be shipped to a friend of mine in the US, and he shipped it to me. Thank you. Because I felt like it was a sign. I never dreamt about a deck in that sense. So yes, it for me it was like a sign, like, okay, I need to have it. Don't lie down, don't let it happen. Just get it, which I did. So this is a little bit why this deck came to be among my spiritual decks, because I could use this as an everyday read because it's very easy to the point for me. I mean, it's based on the Thoth system, so not the RWS, but the Thoth. Um, but I could use this in an everyday read. But because of that dream and the story around it, it became special to me, the deck. And I use it in special occasions. So even though I could take it for an everyday read, it became something different, because it tapped into my dream state. So I do use it for dream work. But also, like I said, when I do, for example, my focus reading at the beginning of the month, I will definitely get this one out and let it guide me that way. So yeah, a little bit of a different kind of reason why it's in my spiritual collection. Um, but yeah, that's a story, and I'm sticking to it. So yes, this one, The Journey of the Sacred Bee by Miss Kelly Burton, it was, yes. She has a new deck coming out because apparently this one and the Oracle were two of a trilogy that she had in her mind. And the third one, I think it's called The Keepers of the Sacred Bee or something. Anyway, I pre-ordered it on Kickstarter. My first deck that I actually backed on Kickstarter. So hopefully next year it will be among my collection. The next one, you can already see it, is the She-Wolf Tarot. And well, let me put the last one with it directly too. These are my last two for this video. The She-Wolf Tarot and the Serpentfire Tarot from the same creator. I didn't know what to do with these. I wanted them because they were beautiful, but I felt like it's so different from anything else I have in my collection. Was I gonna work with it? And I tried to talk myself out of it. Wait, let me show you the backs first because we can talk while we flip. So I was trying to talk myself out of it, But I had the other one, the Serpentfire Tarot, already for a long time in my wish list. And then I saw this one. And I got them locally, so there was no vet and all that stuff, So that was a good thing, but still, they're not cheap. um, so I was going back and forth about it, and I ended up both ordering them at the same time. And the moment I paid my money, paid the two decks, I got a sinking feeling like, oh my god, I made a horrible mistake because I'm not gonna use this. And I was contemplating on canceling the order, um, but it didn't happen because apparently I got too busy and I kind of forgot about it even. And already 2 days later, it arrived, and something weird happened. This one is the first one I opened, and I loved it. Even this one. For me, this when I saw it on YouTube, like I'm showing you now, it was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. um, but I really took the booklet and I really dove in those cards. And again, something happened, something outside of myself. And I actually loved the deck. I couldn't stop not working with it. It extended, yeah. Not that I have a margin or something, or how I long I work with one particular deck, but I like to mix it up. Yeah, this one didn't want to leave my table. There's one thing I didn't like, and I don't know, in all honesty, because it's no dig at the creator. In this one, the Eye of Ra or the Eye of Horus, sorry, is mentioned, but it actually is the Eye of Ra because there was a difference there. And I was a little bit bummed about that because I do believe, especially, yeah, I'm sensitive when it comes to African traditional symbolism and stuff. Yeah, either do it right or don't do it. However, it was done right in the Serpentfire, so which made me think, well, maybe it was a mistake in the mirroring of the image or something. Um, so yeah, that was a little bit hard to accept because again, I'm a stickler for that. I don't mind it all the time, but yeah, I'm protective of African tradition, symbology. Um, so, but I will give it, like I said, the benefit of the doubt because it's a beautiful deck and I loved working with it. And I think yesterday in one of my videos, I said I'm not a pink girl, which I really, really am not. Um, I think that was also one of the things about this deck that I was like, I'm not gonna use it, but I end up doing that very same thing. I use it a lot, even though again the imagery is so different from anything I work with, and I should have given a nudity warning, but yeah, it is what it is. um, so again, very very spiritual to me. It was definitely a weird experience. One of my favorite cards. And I think she does an amazing job. I gave criticism about the Eye of Horus, but the amazing job is done in a guidebook. I mean, she describes the card, she describes the landscape in which you enter, so to speak. And what that means, for example, the Four of Cups or whatever card you have. I think the guidebook in this one is much better than the Serpentfire because there it was very basic. But overall, like I said, yeah, I really fell in love with this deck. And again, not one I would use for an everyday read because when I would pull 3 cards, oh they match greatly with my little tablecloth thing. If you pull 3 cards, even though it looks very minimalistic in like it's not overwhelming you, there was still a lot to tap into. And that is what I really love. It goes deeper than what I ever expected. And I think that's the beauty, for me at least, of this deck. So that one, the She-Wolf Tarot. And then I will continue with the Serpentfire Tarot. Sorry, I had to do a quick pause because my daughter walked in. So yes, this one, the Serpentfire Tarot. Oh yeah, that's the guidebook, not the box. These are the backings. Very simple, absolutely amazing and beautiful. And yeah, they have a golden kind of gilding. Oh, I didn't show the gilding on the other one. It was beautiful pink anyway. The Five of Swords. Absolutely amazing, beautiful. So yeah, this, like I said, the same with this. After I opened the She-Wolf first to check out the cards, and I fell in love. And then I was scared that I was not gonna fall in love as much with this one because, well, I already gave my heart to the other one. But again, all my fears were for nothing because this one very different, even though both collage, and it's definitely she definitely puts her own stamp on it, you know. But definitely a different kind of vibe and energy, and yeah, beautiful in my opinion, absolutely amazing. So again, this one, oh, one of my favorites, the priestess, sorry. Because there's so much for me, not only intuitively but spiritual. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. I would call it spirituality, you know, that tapping into your spirit or a greater spirit besides yourself. Also beautiful magician. How amazing. Yeah, because they do that, these decks for me, because again, this one was my last one then. Yeah, they fall under a category I call then, yeah, spiritual decks. Because they do more than just give you the answers to a question, you know. They go deeper, they go further, they try to go about their own way, stay in the tarot. Yeah, how would you say that? They stay in their tarot boxes, and I don't mean the boxes where they live in, but and at the same time they reach further, you know. So that is something, like I said, that taps into, yeah, different kind of parts of myself and higher than myself, and yeah, that's what's gonna make it very interesting. And then these kind of decks, yeah, fall into that category that I work with in a different kind of way, in a special kind of way. And it's again, that are my spiritual decks. Oh yeah, also one of my absolute favorites. I think in the guidebook she describes it as the now, the delta, you know, the now delta. And every time I see this card, it's just, yeah, it's something else. And I think again she did an amazing job, even though both decks give different vibrations, give different energy. I think with both, yeah, she absolutely did an amazing job. So yes. So yeah, this was the last one. I'm gonna stop at the Lovers, which is my birth card. Yeah, so this one, the Serpentfire Tarot. Again, I will put all the names of the decks and the creators in the description. The next video I'm not sure about, because I think I got two categories left, and yeah, one of them is very, very small. It only has 3 decks. So I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do that one. So I think probably the next one will be religious kind of decks. And I got some artsy kind of, yeah, that Renaissance kind of style, yeah, in there, because for me that I might not be correct, but at least for me that really taps into that religion kind of thing, you know. So anyway, I think that will be the next video. But hey, we will go with the flow and we will see. So that was it for today. I want to thank you for watching again, or maybe for the first time. I do hope you come back for the next video, and I hope to see you soon then. Thank you. Bye bye.